Many times you'll have many different entry edges that go into your routing graph. Here I have 2 entry nodes, but I actually have 4 different entry edges. There's 2 coming from the updated lead and 2 coming in from the new lead node. Now, at some point, it may be beneficial for you to differentiate between which leads came in as a new record and also which leads came in as an updated record. In those cases, it would really be difficult to distinguish because you can see that both paths actually converge. All of our entry edges will reconverge right here at this lead source node. And at this point, we have no way of distinguishing which records came in from either of these 2 entry paths versus the other 2 entry paths. Now, we can actually use variables to remember this, which entry node and also which entry edge a record came in so that we can reference it later in routing decisions. Let's say if you wanted to send a different notification if a record was new and a different notification if the record was just existing and it was updated. So let's walk through how to do that. First, I'm just going to disconnect my entry edges here, and you can see that there's 2 each. Then I'm going to pull in an action node for set variable. And let's do the status to MQL entry condition first. I'm going to create a variable here in this node called entry edge. And this one's just going to be text. And within this variable, I'm going to store the value of update MQL. So in this entry edge variable, for all records that proceed through this path, they go through this particular node, and then they will have a variable stored there of update MQL. So let's go ahead and just change the name here. Okay, now I'm just going to copy this node, and I'm going to set another value in the same variable for when the score is updated to 100. So this here is going to be named update score 100. And I'm going to use the same variable, but instead of this MQL value, I'm going to just put in update score 100. Then I'll go ahead and connect this. So what this is doing is, depending on which entry edge the record was initiated through, it's going to store a different value in that entry variable. Now we're going to do the same here. So I'll go ahead and copy this another time, and I'll change this name to new. And then I believe a list upload was what we're looking at. So we'll put list upload here. And I'll just grab that and I'll make that the value down here as well. And again, this is the same variable. Click done, and I'll go ahead and connect our list upload edge and have that proceed through this set variable. Now I'm going to copy this one more time for my last entry edge, which is just going to be other insert. And I'm going to change this to new other insert. And then I will rename this node to the same. Okay, and then connect this to the next step. Okay, so here, all our records will still reconverge at this decision node here, but depending on which path they came down, they will remember that value in a variable that we set. So let's do this. We're going to scroll down, and here at the end of our graph, we have a few endpoints. And what I want to do is, if those records came in through one of the 2 new entry edges, I can send this notification. And if it came through one of the 2 update edges, I want to send this other notification. So I want to differentiate here by the entry edge. Now, I've only differentiated between new and update, but you could also have 4 different paths for each of the different edges that we have. It just doesn't have to be just 2, but you would set this up really no differently. What we're going to do is we're going to use a decision node, and it's going to be a general decision node all the way down there. We'll pull this in, and let's move all of our next node edges here. So everything is going to go through this general branch decision node. And because all of these are going to go through this one decision point to determine if it was new or update and get sent the appropriate notification. So we'll name this new or updated lead. And to configure this, I'm looking for not a value on an object, but the value in a variable. So I'll select primitive here. And then on this other side, I'm just going to select value. And for my conditions, I will select my entry edge variable. And that's the only variable I've set. This is going to be starts with. And you can do equals if you want to differentiate all 4. And then let's do new here because we're just trying to differentiate between the ones that start with new and the ones that start with update. Okay, for our default edge, let's just update that to update. So we know that that handles that one. So we'll connect that to our update notification and then connect the new edge to our new notification. And now records will come in, and then we will remember which entry edge they came through these set variable nodes, and then they'll proceed through the graph. And if they end at one of these 4 endpoints here, they will then proceed to our new or updated lead decision point, and we will decide if it should go to a new notification or an update notification, and that will get sent accordingly. So I hope that helps.